What is going on, guys? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hump day. What's going on, guys? I hope everybody had a good day. We are 2-0 this week. No trades on Monday. Great trade on Sunday. Great trade yesterday. Yesterday was that USD JPY sell, and believe it or not, it's coming back down. USD JPY is pretty much back where we sold it yesterday. It went all the way actually for 40 pips. Miguel, what's going on, man? How are you? So we're looking at USD JPY again. This candle is very enticing. Seeing that it didn't move up. Well, that is good to hear, Miguel. I got a new MacBook today, guys. Check out how thin this thing is. This thing's insane. But anyway, let's hop in. We have some really good volume already. So GJ, let me delete these because we'll make a new list for today. It's the Air, actually. It's the new Air with the M5 chip. I came home and it was wrapped on the kitchen counter for me in wrapping paper. And I was like, what is this? And my girlfriend was like, open it up. I was like, thanks, babe. So shout out to my girlfriend, Taylor. Really appreciate that. Oh, no. Here we go. Yeah, I saw that on FOREX Factory right here. Yep. Trumpet 9, guys. Trumpet 9. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's... frustrating to say the least. Frustrating to say the least. So here's the thing about GJ, guys. Here's what I'm looking at when it comes to GJ. There's two ways to look at this. The 4-hour chart is retesting. It actually did retest. So on the higher time frame here, we got a retest of this EMA ribbon as well as this fair value gap. I don't trade gold and oil. I use them as a tool to decide what the dollar is doing and what the Japanese yen is doing. So using them as tools is very important. So I use it as a tool, but I don't trade them. I certainly use the charts. Like we've got our oil chart right here. Like we mentioned yesterday in my reel that I came out with today, saying gold's probably going to reach 120. Well, it went up to 107. I filled my car up, so that was fun. But yeah, you're consolidating in a bull flag on gold right now. Ooh, that was terribly drawn. Sorry. Bull pin flag. This breaks above this fair value gap. We're going to see 120, just like we talked about yesterday, or 2 days ago, sorry. So anyway, on GJ, going back to GJ, guys, there's a couple really good things about this. It's rejecting the fair value gap in the EMA on the 4. However, on the 1 hour, because we were talking about talking ourselves out of trades, on the 4, or on the 1 hour, it's doing the opposite here. It broke structure right here. That's your break of structure. And it's coming back to retest, which could rocket launch it up this way from this point, or we could continue back down. However, it did already break structure and break our previous highs right there. That would be the only reason that I don't want to touch this chart tonight unless we get a definitive rejection here or we get a definitive drop this way on that 4-hour chart, which was right here. Euro JPY, again, looks like a really, really good sell. However, we are in an uptrend, a continued uptrend. So we made money on this one, I believe, last week. However, what we got going on here is a extremely tight channel. Very tight, very clean channel right here. I would even venture to say it's right there, but that's your channel right there. This is what we're seeing. It looks like this could hit the channel and go up for a buy. Again, that would also be rejecting the fair value gap and the EMA ribbon, so it does meet our rules. However, it has been bearish for the past 4 hours. If we look at the 4-hour chart, bearish, almost coming to break structure. Nene, what's up, man? How are you? So that's what we're looking at there. So GJ, we're going to mark as yellow. Euro JPY, we're going to mark as possibly a buy here. USD JPY, I think, is still good for a sell. I'm going to delete this, but everybody knows this is what we did yesterday. I'll delete these. We'll make some new ones. But USD JPY is still looking like a sell. Thank you, Nene. Again, what we're going to have to wait for, though, is the fact that Trump's speaking at 9. So if we find something before that, drop my phone. If we find something before that on the 15-minute time frame that we can quick scalp, I would certainly love to do that. However, if we do not find that, and we do have to wait till 9 o'clock, we most likely won't touch anything until after the impact of the news. Doesn't mean we won't touch something tonight. It just might be late. You know, like 10, 11 o'clock. After we see what he says, because if he comes out and says we're going to war, or, you know, he wants a ceasefire, you know, oil's going to drop if he wants a ceasefire. If he says the opposite, oil's going up. And you guys know the deal. We've been talking about it all week. Oh, yeah, it's a red folder. It's red folder. Yeah, tomorrow we can still stream, but Friday we don't stream Fridays anyway. But Fridays you got NFP and you have bank holidays in 5 countries. What's up, Andrew? How you doing, man? Yeah, he was talking about that, but we'll see what happens. Let's see what they're thinking is going to happen. Let's see. Set to deliver an update on U.S. and Israel's war on Iran. Televised from the White House. He's expected to reiterate his intention to conclude U.S. operations against Iran within 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, that's what he's saying. I mean, they're demanding a ceasefire, and we're essentially demanding they open up the strait for everybody. S&P jumped 3.7% over the last 2 sessions. Biggest 2-day increase since March 2025. But going back to the charts here, guys, I still really like this USD JPY sell. I don't see a reason not to like it. Unless this is going to just wick up. I don't like this bottom right here on the 4-hour, though. That bottom right there on the 4-hour looks like it's swinging back up. Yeah, I saw that. He just said, "Don't be a bitch," which is wild. Let's look at the 1 hour charts here. USD CAD over here looks like we're going to move this. This is actually right there. No. No, I'd be really mad at you if you did that. If you blew your account trading news today. You wouldn't do that. You're smarter than that. A lot of these charts look the same right now. Look at the USD JPY and the CAD JPY chart. It's the same thing. This and this is the same chart practically. GN, let's see what GN is doing. GN looks like it's going to retest a high. This like 2.31500 area. If it retests that high and breaks it, we could look to see the upside here at the top of this zone. Like 2.32800 area, which is a big move. It's a big move, but to retest the top of this, you're looking at 143 pips. But this consolidation pattern right here is not fun to trade in. You need to see it break this and go, or break this and go. Not ideal trading conditions on GN, so we're going to unflag that one. Nice. There you go, Miguel. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear it. All right, so moving on to GA, GBP AUD. This was one of the trades we actually looked at yesterday, and it went for distance. I know Schubert did well on this one. It went for distance. It looks like we're coiling up here to test a new area on the 1 hour. We broke above the EMA. We created a fair value gap. We haven't had a full candle closure above the fair value gap, but if we do, you're looking at 70 pips, minimally 25 to retest the local highs. He might be just getting off work. It's all you doing it, Miguel. It's not us. Appreciate that, but it's all you, bro. GBP CAD. Okay, we've got an uptrend. Let's redraw these. Let's remove these around here. We've got an uptrend. We've got our zones here. Jose, what's going on, man? Good to see you again. Hope you had a good day. I don't like that we're in the middle of zones, but let's go to the 15-minute chart here. Ooh, the 15-minute chart might sell off. Anybody seeing what I'm seeing here? Here's what I'm seeing. On the possible 15-minute there. So 15-minute looks like it could sell if it rejects this. It already rejected it once, right? So we already had it break structure, come here, reject this fair value gap. Came down. Looks like it's trying to reject it again. If that happens, your next move is to down here, which is roughly 37 pips. That's the type of quick scalp that I'm talking about for tonight, because we're not staying in a trade through Trump's speech. We're just not doing that. GCAD's looking like a sell. Let's look at Euro JPY on the 15 and USD JPY on the 15. Wow, look at EuroCAD there. Not this week he didn't. Hey, Jose, I just want to say we all have bad days, man. It's all right. We're alive and kicking, you know? Sometimes you got to take the good with the bad. All right. Euro USD, a little break and retest here. Overall trend. Wow, that's a rather large trend here. Don't feel too hot about that one. David, what's up, man? How are you today? Hearts for that, Miguel. I'm hearting the shit out of it. Boy, this hour chart looks extremely bullish on, here's the problem I have, though. Going back to our theme of the week of convincing ourselves to not take a trade and talking about both sides of the coin instead of just straight going all in on something. You had a break of structure here, massive one. We came up and it corrected itself and then it sold off again. It came up here and it looks like it's correcting itself. The question is it going to come back down through this zone or is it going to keep going? It currently is break and retesting as we speak right here on the 1 hour time frame. This could be the retest for it to climb back up to this way. It's an awkward ass W, but it's a W. That could be what we're seeing. But based off this chart, I'm not fully convinced. I'm not fully convinced because here's a break of structure too on the 15. Like there's your very roughly drawn channel there. Here's your break of structure where it completely came out. Now it's retesting a fair value gap created on the way down. We could get a sell for 20 to realistically like 20 to 35 to possibly 65 pips. Yeah, Euro JPY I'm just not a fan of, and USD JPY, the only thing I'd take is another sell. Yeah, I agree with you there. The higher time frame certainly does, but the high time frame on all of these again looks bearish. I know we haven't flipped on the EMA yet, but broken structure outside of the channel here. I mean, yeah, Euro JPY I'm not even going to touch tonight. There's just no telling what it's going to do. And then GBP CAD, it looks like it could go for a buy. I mean, the channel's strong. The trend is strong, I should say. Like, the trend is really strong on this one. There's your top right there. So, I mean, the trend is decently strong on this one. Yeah, it may have dipped into it a little down here, but we have a clear reversal. On the 4-hour time frame, it could just be coming up to create a wick, but that's a pretty strong fair value gap for 4, 8, 12, 16, 24 hours. So on GBP CAD, on the 15-minute chart, gone fishing. We're not in anything yet. We're just analyzing still. We're still analyzing. There's nothing to get into as of right now for us. Welcome, though. Appreciate you joining. Ooh. AUD JPY, possible sell for 20 pips. Would love to see it break the lows, though, before getting in it. My favorite pair to trade is the pair that has the most volume and the best price action. But typically we trade the JPY pairs. GBP JPY, USD JPY, Euro JPY. Sometimes GBP AUD and Euro AUD, but M. Camphor, you did a sell on GJ just now? Yeah, like that's what it's looking like. It's looking like a sell, down for at least 17 pips, if not 33. I want to see the next 15-minute candle before hopping in it. But if we were to, there'd really only be one TP, guys. It'd be like, I mean, I guess you could put one there, and you could put one at the bottom, and you could have a final one down here if you wanted. I'm actually going to get rid of this altogether, I believe. This 4-hour bar here, because I'm not really a fan of it. Yeah, I think GJ Sells looks the most solid right now. Yeah, not overthinking it at 1 a.m. I don't blame you. The 1 hour is not my favorite. I'll be honest with you. The 1 hour is not my favorite. The 4-hour looks good. Heavily rejecting the EMA and the fair value gap. The 4-hour looks great. But we ain't going to be holding until the next 4-hour candle. I can promise you that. 15-minute looks good. Yes, he does. Yeah, we just talked about that. He does speak tonight, so that's why I said we're not waiting for that next 4-hour candle. If we get in something, we're getting in it within the next 15 to 20 minutes, and we're holding it for roughly an hour at most. And if it doesn't do what we want to do, that's fine. But also, if we don't see anything that meets the criteria going into his speech, we just won't trade till later tonight. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean? You could. As long as you don't over leverage yourself and you do somewhat watch it, or at least turn your alerts on TradingView. Because the last thing you want to do is leave that thing alone when he tweets. Yeah, if you don't sell, you don't lose. Who said that? That was that Togi guy, right? It is true. USD JPY, the break. Let's see if it's going to retest and end up coming back down. But we're looking at, like, that would be TP1 for, that's actually 30 pips. You could actually take a TP right there. Could take a 1730 and then whatever the bottom is. Bottom's really right here. Not much further down. We could move this one in between and have those as TPs. Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, I've seen him. GBP CAD's selling off. I don't know. Ugh, I just don't love the chart. I just don't love the chart, guys. It looks like this is going to be rendered invalid. I don't think this channel matters. I think what more importantly matters, the EMA and the fair value gap matters more to me than the channel. Euro JPY is just absolutely rejecting that. Our gas green over here. Grass is green over here, baby. You know it. All right, we just got a new 15-minute on all these charts. Let's see what we got here. Gosh, that looks like such a good sell. Boy, GBP CAD looks like a really nice sell for roughly 20, 30, 40, and 80 pips. Love the bearish engulfing rejection off the EMA there. We already got the flip. We got the retest once. We got the retest twice. The only thing that I don't like is the overarching theme of this being a bullish chart. If we take everything off this chart and just look at it here, we do have higher highs and higher lows, right? So an established uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. Your overall trend on the higher time frame is up, right? So we can establish that. We can also head down to the up to the 4 hour and see that actually it may have flipped here because we have a 4 hour candle that was absolutely massive here. Typically you see the wick come up and then it keeps driving down. That would be the reason, and you have a reversal at a key zone right there. I like the sells on GBP CAD on the 4 hour and on the 15-minute. Take a look at EU. All right, let me find that. Euro USD. This is the same exact chart almost. Hold on, let's go to the 4 hour here. I think Euro USD is going to sell down on the 4-hour to retest the CMA for 30 pips. But you're caught in between two FEGs right here, and I don't like that. And there's no volume on it, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's rejecting to come back down, but it's too early to say, especially on that day chart, in my opinion. Because it could retrace that wick. It could still come up and retrace that wick. I appreciate that, Jose. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, these charts are just... Now, if you look at the day chart on GBP CAD, looks like a buy to me. Looks like we're going to finish out this zone, or at least retest it for 50 pips. We're getting mixed signals on different charts right now. And that's not really that fun when you're getting mixed signals on different charts. You guys know how much I dislike that. Let's look at the technicals. Let's have a look, shall we? We already knew the 1 day was going to... Yeah, it's just a buy on the technicals, a buy on the 1 hour. We could certainly do that if you wanted. I would scalp the absolute piss on the 1 minute out of this for a sell. Look at this break of structure on the 1 minute. You could scalp this for 3 all the way to possibly 18 pips on the 1 minute here. Just don't want to do it like that. Look at that 15-minute chart, guys. That thing's got to come down to test this zone. Could do that, though. There's a lot of options on these charts. There's a lot of it coulds. I don't like trading it coulds. I like trading its most likely twos. Let's look at the 5 minute. The technicals are all buys. Goes against everything in my well-being to say that I would sell this right now. But I'll tell you what, that 15-minute chart looks excellent. The most perfect break and retest that you could ask for. Yeah, which is right here. It's right there. That's your 18 pips right there, which is the bottom of the zone. Key level right here. 184,400. Yeah, I mean, it's right there. Wow. Look at that rejection candle. Ooh, boy, that's similar to the one we saw yesterday. That's very similar to the one we saw yesterday. Yeah, man, I mean, such is life in the American way. Working to live or living to work, you know? I don't trust this chart. You had a bullish engulfing candle, and then you had a massive wicked wick down when it touched that EMA. We got 6 minutes until we get a new 15-minute candle, though. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit here just to see what happens. But it's just we're squeezing an hour before a speech, and then everybody knows once the speech happens. Let's say it's a 10-minute speech, just for easy numbers. Let's say it's a 10-minute speech. The markets are going to do whatever they're going to do for an hour to an hour and a half afterwards, and then you'll get the correction, right? This is what happens every time we have red folder news, especially when Trump is speaking or tweeting. You always got an hour before correction, and then after correction is when you can start looking at price action. You can certainly trade a correction, but it is so hard to predict the news part. Yeah, corrections aren't bad to trade. I wouldn't go that far, but I honestly like continuations. After a break and retest, just the continuation of the downtrend that it broke originally. That's where we've historically done the best. What's Euro AUD doing? Euro AUD is doing nothing but consolidating in the biggest bull flag we've ever seen. That's a long bull flag. Break above right here, this thing's gonna go. And it's been consolidating for eons. I mean, look at this consolidation, guys. 6 days of pretty much no movement other than that spike on that news day. 6 days of consolidation on the 4 hour. Even the day chart, my goodness. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's one thing to say that you think oil's going to pump, and I totally understand speculation. But if he says anything consistent with what he said last time and that the goal is to have everything ceased and no more military action, it would be the opposite. Gas is going to go down in that case. Look at that consolidation on Euro AUD. That is a tough chart to trade. That is the day chart there, folks. GJ to me looks like a buy more than a sell. Schubert, what's going on, man? How are you? How you been? Well, good morning to you, sir. How nice of you. You're making me blush over here. Making me blush from across the pond. Yeah, JP Cat is. All right, we just got new 15s. Let's see what we got here. Slight break and retest, not enough to get in. USD JPY currently retesting. This break and retest, this rejection would lead us to believe that it could come down again. This trend line scares me. Euro CHF, let's take a look. Euro CHF. Well, I have your lines drawn up here, Schubert. I have your channel here. And based on what I'm seeing, it's as bullish can get. But if you hop to the 1 hour here, looks like it could sell down back to, for 50 pips, back down to the 0.91500 area to come back down and test that channel. If that's what you're looking at on the hour, that's what I'm seeing. To 91500. 0.91500. But your 4 hour, Schubert, your 4 hour is heavily rejecting this area. Heavily rejecting on the 4. It still could shoot up another 45 to 65 pips. It already broke structure here when it came right out of this channel. It broke structure right here, came back in and is retesting, which leads me to believe it's going that way on the 4 hour. But if you look at it on the 1 hour and you're looking for on a smaller time frame, you have lower lows and lower highs. So on the lower time frame, if this candle becomes somewhat of a rejection and wicks down, you could sell it off to back into the channel, or at least to 91800, 91500, 91450. So if anyone else has a chart they want me to look at, we certainly can. But as the crow flies, as we're looking at right now, and I hope you guys understand that we're just not forcing things. I've had 2 wins this week, 0 losses, and I'm not forcing something that's not an A+ setup going into Trump speaking. DPAC, yeah, you want me to look at USD JPY? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so on the 4-hour time frame, we'll break it down from the top. On the 4-hour time frame, it looks like it's bullish and it's coming back up to retest this EMA ribbon for roughly 38 pips. Because you have this local consolidation right here that's been going on for roughly 1 day and 8 hours. Now, if you go to the 1-hour chart here, you have a very clean break of structure from yesterday that we traded. And it retested. Terrible line there. Retested, came down, went all the way to TP3 for us, right? But it's now retesting it again and looks like it could be coming down to again test this zone. Or what we're seeing is actually an uptrend and it's going to come back up and retest this zone. So there's 2 different ways to look at it, and the reason I'm not in anything right now is because none of these charts have enough confirmations for me to confidently say it's an A+ setup, and then I'm going to put my money on the line to say it's going one way or another. Thanks for joining, Andrew. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Does that make sense there, DPAC? Yeah, oil. Yeah, we can look at oil. So again, LA last, just a heads up here. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier when we brought up oil. So we broke the $100 mark again. We broke the $100 mark again, and you're in a bull flag, right? Ignore this outlier. That was news. If Trump speaks tonight and says anything about not withdrawing troops or not shutting it down or not trying to stop the strikes between Israel and Iran and Tehran and all those places, this thing is going up here again. It's going right back to the 120 mark. If he says anything remotely the opposite, like he's been talking about, and he says that it's going to go, we're going to, cease fire, everyone's pulling back, Israel's going to stop striking, the US is going to stop striking, no more. Oil is going to calm down and come back down to normal levels. The $84 to $68 a barrel mark. I don't think it's dropping below this 76 to 84 mark, but it could come back down to here. So we got two possibilities, but we can't with a good conscience predict that. Thanks, Nene. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you joining. We can't predict that with a good conscience and give good advice on that and make proper decisions without knowing what the heck this guy's going to say tonight. And this is the hardest time to be trading, guys. I've said it all week. Does that make sense to everybody? Let's look at some 15-minute charts here, guys, and see if there's anything that we can get in. Defo? What does that mean? Is that a stock? So looking at a chart, just to look at the sake of a chart, we can do that. But looking at a chart to try and get in, knowing what's ahead in the next hour, definitely. Okay, good. No, looking at a chart trying to get in something, knowing that we're going to have chaos in the next hour in the markets is just, that's gambling, guys. That's gambling. Even GJ's doing the opposite. USD JPYs looks like it's coming back up, so it's not selling off. It looks like this uptrend is going to be maintained. It might break back up into this area. It's just all speculation right now. All speculation. I'm going to put a poll up. I'm curious. Where's the second option? Oh, it just went through. What was it? SNDK. The SanDisk Corporation? That's what you're looking at, Schubert? I just want to make sure I'm on the right chart for you here. What, you're looking at buys to go up to 781? Or 780? Because yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I am here for that. If you go on the 1 day too, oh, there's just so many gap ups and gap downs. The only thing I would say there, Schubert, is if you wanted to get in at a better price, you could wait to see if it tests 686, but you're only talking about a $10 difference. So realistically, your levels are 747. Well, actually, 712, 747, and 780. You're already in. I should have known. Nice. That's pretty good there at 590. 590. Oh, wow. You got in down here. Oh, you're up big then. 590. $590. You're up $104 a share right there, my man. Should we pocket watch Schubert real quick? At $100 a share, let's say he has a modest 100 shares. That's a $10,000 swing there. At a modest 500 shares, that is a $50,000 swing. At a modest 50 shares, still a $5,000 swing. Not bad there, Schubert. It's a hell of a swing there. Shubham, what's up, man? How are you? Alright, I'll take a look at it. If I ask, then not good. Not quite sure what that means. DPass saying, let's see, USDJPY keeps hitting a brick wall. Yeah. Yeah, right here. The 925 area, yeah, right here. It's tested it a couple times. I mean, look how many retests we've had. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could come up and get a fifth right here, or it could just drive through the zone. Oh, we got our new hour candle, guys, on these charts. I'm doing all right, man. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that there, Shubham. I hope you're having a decent day. Or if you're having a bad day, I hope it gets better. Yeah, that's hell of a trade there, Schubert. I'm looking at what you just sent me. It's a good chart there. Oh, I appreciate you, man. I have people in house that do that though. Thank you. Thank you. I have a great person that does that in house. His name's Adele. He does all that for me, but I appreciate it, man. I've already got contracts with him but hey, good on you for doing cold sales like this. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle. Stream hopping to get thumbnails. It's not a bad way to do it. Respect the hustle, man. I'm pretty loyal when it comes to my team there, Shubham. But I do appreciate you. Really, genuinely, I do. GJ looks like it's going to take off. Not on the 4 hour, but on the 1 hour, GJ looks like it's going to take off. GJ sells for 25 pips. Well, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think we're trading tonight. The only thing that I possibly see here, guys, is a GJ buy or a GBP CAD buy. That is the only thing that I see here. If you want to get in a GCAD buy or a GJ buy, you are more than welcome to, but 53 minutes away from a presidential speech, I'm not getting into anything before that. We tried at the 7 o'clock hour to look for something. The market is not giving us anything that is worth looking at right now. That's just the truth. Well said there, Adele. Protecting capital is very important. Yeah, well, I still wanted to hop on here and go over charts with you guys. I'm glad we did. We at least got an hour in together, seeing what's going on, but I don't think we're going to see anything here until later. But I will be looking at the charts, so keep your notifications on Discord, guys. I will definitely send something out if I see it. As you guys know, I'll always send something if I see it. And I don't trade without you guys, so every trade I take, you guys get. There's no secret backdoor super VIP trades. You know what I mean? Everything's for you guys too. Do it as a team. But thank you guys. We will end the stream how we always do. Adele, if you can send him the website. Appreciate you guys. Hope everybody has a good night. Enjoy the rest of your night, okay, guys? Have a good one. I'll text you guys, let you know. We'll message you if we get in anything. Peace. Thanks for joining, everybody. Jose, Adele, Miguel, Shuba, Schubert, Deepask, Andrew, everyone who joined. Nay. Appreciate you guys.